Hi guys, I'm Dr. Nash Jocic, bodybuilding champion with experience of over 40 years in bodybuilding and fitness industry. During this period, I managed to compete 46 times and I won 17 titles. I have also personally supervised and trained over 3,000 clients and helped them to get in the best shapes of their lives, to build muscle and burn fat. And I have also published 9 books on muscle growth, fat loss, bodybuilding, nutrition, bodybuilding diet, etc. So I hope that on my YouTube channel you will find information that will benefit you greatly and help you to get in the best shape that you always wanted. Now, in this video, I want to talk about high protein, low carb diet and what nobody tells you about it. So if you watched my previous videos, you know that I am a big advocate of high protein, low carb diets. And the reason for that is not just muscle building and fat loss, which is dramatically accelerated with this type of diet, but also overall metabolic health. So in this video, I want to talk about few key advantages that you will have following high protein, low carb diet. If you had problems getting in shape and maybe not getting enough muscle as you wanted, despite your high efforts in the gym, this video may be the best answer for you. And I hope you watch this until the end because there are quite few key points that you want to take away from this video regarding your muscle growth, fat loss, and also your metabolic health. Now, key advantage number 1 is faster fat loss. So why is that people lose fat faster on high protein, low carb diet? Because once you expose your body to higher protein and lower carbohydrate intake, your body will have to switch to the different source of energy. There are only 2 types of energy that your body uses. It's either glucose or fat. So if you lower carbohydrates, the only source of energy available for the body will be your body fat. And with lower glucose in the blood, the body will be forced to switch to the different source of energy, hence body fat will start melting. Now, that is very difficult to happen if you eat high amount of carbohydrates, simply because high glucose levels and high insulin levels will not allow your body to tap into fat stores. This is due to the hormones and enzymes which are either geared up for glucose utilization with a high presence of insulin, or they are geared up for fat utilizations with a lower presence of insulin but higher presence of hormone called glucagon. So once you switch to higher protein, low carb diet, you will start burning body fat. Now, the key advantage number 2 is muscle growth and muscle retention. So if you're interested in muscle growth, muscles being the most important tissues for longevity, for example, as we know, one of the main causes of aging is actually loss of strength, meaning loss of muscle size and therefore loss of bone tissue as well. So everything goes downstream. Once you start losing muscles, you start losing strength, you start losing bone strength, bone density, and basically your body is just collapsing. So if you want to increase that longevity, muscle building is the number 1 key. Not only that, but also muscles are the most expensive metabolic tissue in the body. So more muscles you have, more you will be spending energy just to maintain that tissue in your body. meaning you will be burning more energy during rest time. So if you want higher muscle development, high protein, low carbohydrate diet will be your key answer. It will help you increase your muscle tissue in record time. Now, advantage number 3 is appetite control and satiety. So high protein, low carb diet will help you control your appetite much easier. You won't be as hungry as you will be if you're eating a high carbohydrate diet. High carb diet actually will cause this cycle of spiking insulin, which will clearly wipe out completely your glucose from the blood, making you completely low with energy, and then you will be immediately hungry within a couple of hours and you will have to eat again. So if you eat carbohydrates again, your blood sugar will go up, will go very high. That will trigger another higher production of insulin, and the same cycle will repeat again. This is why people who eat predominantly carbohydrates or high carbohydrate diets, they have to eat 6, 7, 8 times a day, because simply to maintain that necessary level of energy, because they depend on glucose as the main source of energy. If you depend on body fat as the main source of energy and you eat high protein, low carb diet, you will be much more fuller and happier for a longer period of time. So you don't have to eat 5, 6, 7 times a day. With 2, 3 meals a day, you will be doing very good. The reason for that is when the glucose is low, your insulin is low. And when the insulin is low, you don't have that insulin spikes and obviously sudden rise and sudden fall of your glucose in the blood. And therefore, you won't be hungry every 2 hours. For example, I usually have every morning the same breakfast in the last 30 years, which is 5, 6 eggs with some cottage cheese. And after that, I can carry on for 4 or 5 hours. I'm very happy. I'm not hungry. I can focus on other things, and I'm actually not slave of eating every 2 hours, which is a little bit, hard on somebody's psyche to just constantly be, obsessed with food. But if you eat high carbohydrate diet, this is exactly what is going to happen. So cravings will be reduced with this high protein, low carb diet. So advantage number 4 is boosted metabolism and thermogenesis. So why is your metabolism increasing? Because every time you eat protein meal, high protein meal, your metabolism goes up to 30%, meaning your body will be burning a lot of energy to digest protein meal, because it's much harder to digest protein than to digest carbs. So by eating protein meals, let's say 3 times a day, or if you are a bodybuilder, maybe 4 or maybe 5 times a day, you will constantly keep that basal BMR, basal metabolic rate, 30% up, 30% up, 30% up. So your metabolism will be much higher. Also, thermogenesis will be increased because eating protein increases the amount of energy that you will have to burn. Simply switching from high carb to high protein, you will burn more energy to digest food. It's simply an ideal situation. Now, the advantage number 5 is blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity. So people who eat a lot of carbohydrates, they are constantly producing a lot of insulin. What that does over the period of years, that creates insulin resistance, because hyperproduction of insulin basically lowers the sensitivity of insulin receptors on the cells, on the muscle cells. And for that reason, body needs to produce more insulin to do the job. But that constant production of more and more insulin actually forces receptors to close further down, increasing insulin resistance, which is very, very bad and leads to type 2 diabetes. By changing the macronutrients in your diet, increasing protein and lowering carbohydrates, you will reverse the whole process, because when your glucose levels are lower, the insulin receptors on the muscle cells, they open up. So the less insulin will do better job when receptors are wide open than more insulin when they have to close. And cause hyperinsulinemia or insulin resistance. So not only that you will control your blood sugar, which is another very, very important thing, but also you will increase your insulin sensitivity via high protein, low carbohydrate diets. Advantage number 6 is reduced water retention and bloating. People who eat high carbohydrate diets, they retain a lot of water. Not just because carbohydrates are holding more water than protein, but also because of hyperproduction of insulin. Insulin also causes water retention, which is the direct main reason for increased blood pressure. So you can see people who eat too much carbohydrates, even bodybuilders, if you see them in the gym, they're all swollen in their faces. Most of them are red because of hypertension. And high carbohydrate diet is actually detrimental for your health, period. So if you are a serious bodybuilder, if you're somebody who needs carbohydrates, you have to be very, very careful and very sensitive about how much carbohydrates you need. You need to have the minimum necessary amount, not the maximum necessary amount. So you need to find out what is the minimum amount of carbohydrates that will help you go through your high-intensity training sessions on a daily basis. I don't think there is anything more than 200 grams a day will be more than sufficient for almost everyone. Everybody taking more than that, obviously, is helping himself with something else, which is exogenous insulin. I don't want to go that way because this is insane, not just for bodybuilders, but for anybody else who wants quick muscles, because it's very, very bad for your health. And again, by lowering your carbohydrate intakes, you will get rid of water retention, bloating, and hypertension. So, as I said, all these 6 advantages, benefits from high protein, low carbohydrate diets are simply so good that you cannot resist them. So once again, benefit number 1 is faster fat loss. Benefit number 2, increase muscle growth and retention. Benefit number 3 is improve satiety and reduce craving. Benefit number 4 is enhance metabolism and thermogenesis. Benefit number 5, better blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity. And benefit number 6 is reduced water retention and bloating. So I believe that I have clarified in this short video major benefits of high protein, low carbohydrate diets. And if you are somebody who had problems with, fat loss, water retention, hypertension, insulin resistance, problems with developing muscle mass, I think this diet is something that you need to try. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and send me your comments, because this helps algorithms. And also, if you didn't, please subscribe. For the ones who are interested more in detail about nutrition, bodybuilding, muscle growth, fat loss, lifestyle change, I have for you 7 ebooks on my website, which is nashfittraining.com. And they are full of detailed explanation about everything that I just mentioned, key subjects on fat loss, muscle building, lifestyle change, nutrition, and they will benefit you greatly. So please visit my website. There are other services that I provide there, like telephone consultation, personalized training programs, personalized nutritional programs, online personal training, and for the lucky ones who live in London, I also do personal training 1-to-1. So I hope you enjoy this video podcast, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves.